So, welcome to this 10k special. Now, I was trying to figure out what to do for this 10k special, and here it is. Let's have a look at the big highlights of the channel. What events have gone on this channel throughout the years that have really impacted it? And let's first off begin with 2010. We actually begin with World of Warcraft and not racing. And now this is the second most viewed video on the channel, over 28,000 views, and it is a warrior guide on World of Warcraft. Now you go, why is this impactful? Well, it's the second highest viewed video, but also guides. Guides have been a big thing on this channel. We're all here learning and developing, and we've seen that with other videos that are on the channel. This made a big impact because I realized people did need help on games. So I started producing those video guides. Now, we didn't just do guides, we actually did boss kills, and this is in fact the very first video on the channel. It's just unlisted due to the copyright claims on the music. Now, if you can tell what's happening, because I know there's very few pixels on the screen, it's actually a boss kill in the game World of Warcraft. I know most of you don't play World of Warcraft, why am I showing you all these? But this is a boss kill with the very first community I led. It's a guild called Faithless. Shout out to any of the Faithless guys who are still out there, and girls as well. There was lots of us playing. But I thought I'd show you this because this is my very first community I led, or officially in a video. And yeah, it made a big impact on my life, technically. So, StarCraft 2 then appeared on the channel. Now, this was a competition for Next Gen Tactics. If you ever heard of them, they were a big channel around at the time. And it was 2 versus 1 versus Insane AI, which is, imagine AI in racing games being at 150%. It was bonkers. So it's who could get the quickest time. I actually got the quickest time and got featured on that channel. But I had to upload the video somewhere, so I uploaded it to this channel. Now, StarCraft 2 was actually my first taste of proper esports at the time. I had played games previously, but StarCraft 2, my proper first attempt at esports. And yes, another non-racing related game. So we didn't start racing until 2011. Now let's actually jump to that racing. So as you can see, we're about to jump into Suzuka, and we're actually jumping into the X2010 challenge, which some of you will probably have guessed. So this was our first racing video. Now, what is the X2010 challenge for those that didn't play Gran Turismo 5? Well, Sebastian Vettel, or Vettel, or however you want to say his name, had a challenge in Gran Turismo, and it was using the Adrian Newey designed X2010 car. Now, we've got the future versions in Gran Turismo Sport at the moment. This car was ridiculously hard to drive on a pad, ridiculously so, because if you turned right on the pad, it would then not turn right in the car for another 2 or 3 attempts, which is why control sensitivity came in, the patch came in. Now, this goal was achieved before that, and I believe it was a world first. I don't fully know, but nobody else said they had done it. Most people said it was impossible. I spent a good 3 months trying to do this. I achieved it, and I posted on GT Planet. A couple of people were calling me out for it. I don't know why, but I did achieve it on the pad. I got gold, and it's my first big racing achievement on Gran Turismo, and the first one I had uploaded to the YouTube channel. We're now at La Source in the rain at night. This is the first ever race that was uploaded to the channel. We're in Super GT cars in the Nissan GTR Super GT car. And this was a fun little race in the small community I was part of called GT League. Now, I'm still friends with a few of these guys, and I just wanted to demo a fantastic race, basically. You see one guy there into the barrier. But it was just brilliant, because I thought, you know what? This game is awesome. Gran Turismo 5 was awesome, and you could have moments like this, 3 wide, down the Mulsanne, in the rain, at night. It just looks awesome. So I uploaded it. It got a few views, but you know what? It was brilliant, and we've had some brilliant races throughout the years. For GT League then, I actually created my first ever music montage video, essentially, which was obviously using Gran Turismo footage, replays, etc. to advertise the league, but to time it with music. Now, obviously, there's copyright issues with this, so there's... potentially, you might be able to hear it in the background, I'm not sure, but I timed it all together and created this video, which is in the description. All the videos are in the description if you want to go view any particular one, but I really enjoyed making this one because I could just video edit, and that's a part of what I do with this YouTube channel, which is why I'm showing you this. I enjoy video editing, coming out with new random fun videos that might take a lot of time to make, like this video, but actually have a story behind them, or, you know, show off something, or, you know, got good timing, music relates to the video, whatever it might be, as you see some rallying in the background. Gran Turismo's never really been the best with rallying, but As I say, my first music montage video, I thoroughly enjoyed making this, and it actually gave me more of a passion to continue making videos, because without this, I wouldn't be doing it right now. Making videos about Gran Turismo, or making unique videos, or try to make unique videos and fun ones as best as I can. GT Academy. Of course, GT Academy had to appear in this video. Now, this is my pad lap, and I actually got the fastest pad time in the world. Now, from this lap, actually, a lot of people were saying, how do you do it? And I actually made my first GT Academy tutorial and guide, and that was in 2011 as well. And that got watched by a lot of people, because people were saying, how are you going so fast on a pad, Tidge? How are you doing this? Because obviously I'd done the Red Bull challenge. I had now come into GT Academy and was doing the fastest pad times in the world in this GT Academy. But bear in mind, it was just the fastest pad time in the world, because there was a guy called Spud Skills who was racing as well, who was just behind me. We were in the same 10th, which was a 2:16.9 from memory. And I still remember this track very well. It's coming up here, you're going to go into a downhill chicane, very tricky corner, and you could oversteer quite easily here, especially because you're using quite a lot of the grass there to straight line that bit and get it turned in. And a lot of drivers did focus on GT Academy 2011. I mean, Dan Holland made a UK account called Potassium K, was involved with it. Some of my old GTA teammates, Ed Skills, was involved with it. And I met Ed Skills at this event, and I met a lot of people at this event, and it was a brilliant event. Now, Jan Mardenborough eventually won GT Academy 2011, and I've said this many times, Jan was at this event, and Jan was so focused. I still remember to this day walking into that hotel, you know, signing on, and seeing Jan just focused there with his headphones in next to his mum. He was driving a BMW 3 Series, I think, at the time, a really old one. And he was so focused, and he went on to win, and fair play to Jan. He's just gone out there and, like, you know, taken the racing world by storm, essentially, racing in Super GT at the moment and doing a fantastic job, and racing some single seaters as well. So, you know, shout out to Jan. Jan was in this time trial. I think Jan only just got in the end in the time trial, but obviously getting in the time trial, which is very, very competitive, is one thing. You've then got to perform at the event, and he did that. Race programs. This was the very first race program I ever did, and I put a huge amount of effort into this one. I edited absolutely everything. The lap counter at the top. Something you'll see later on in the lap. We put race profiles in. We did all sorts to try and make this as TV-esque of a video as possible. So there was a lot of effort that went into this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but as I say, it's a bit too much work at the time. I wasn't a very good video editor. To be honest, I'm not the best video editor now, but I just try and do my best and try and enjoy it as much as I can. And this, again, was with a mixture of GT League folks and also Ronin GT folks as well. Now, this was the Nürburgring GPD. This was using one of those race model Sylvias. And I also co-commentated this with my real-life friend called Wolsting Zero. You will see him in Discord, of course. I actually raced in it. You can see number 18 there, so that's obviously me. And we used car profiles and all sorts in this. So, you know, the car profiles you see in GT Sport, well, the sort of race profiles actually came from this race program. I tried to do a lot. I looked at the official TV programs and was like, how can I mimic this in a Gran Turismo form? And this is what I came up with. So you can see some fantastic racing on screen. And it's well worth the watch. But if you do go and watch this, I would literally grab a drink and some food, because it is a long watch as we come towards the chicane now at the Nürburgring. And look at that. I just get in front. Woohoo! Just overtaking there. Through we go. So I want to show you just the extra bit that I added. This is why this video took so much time. So as we come around this last corner, you'll notice at the bottom there's going to be like a timing screen, because obviously at the time Gran Turismo 5 was missing a lot in terms of replay, you know, data. So if you have a look now at the bottom of the screen, there we go. I started doing this. There's GT League Warren, Wolsting's in there, GT League Shane, and I literally every lap went through this, went through the times, and made sure they were working absolutely flawlessly. And you can see that there. So that is how much effort I did put into this. And it wasn't even just that as well. I actually did some replay cameras, as we jump to that now. Designed the replay icon top left, so you know it's a replay. And, you know, put this effort in. I went through this. As I say, it took me a lot of effort. This was probably the longest edited video I had done by this point. It was that much effort that went into it. So, again, as I say, if you want to go watch this, check out the description. It's all in there. But that's going to be it for 2011. Let's now see what happened in 2012. Yes, that's right. It's GT Academy again. As I said, this will feature a lot in this video. 2012, one of the most competitive GT Academies that there ever was. Mainly, if you look in the top right hand side, due to the time, 1 minute 31 laps. Will always bring people closer the smaller the lap time because the circuit's then shorter, less mistakes can happen. And I believe from memory it was like 2 tenths separated all the qualifiers who made it to the national final in the UK. Now, in the national final, I was hoping to get to the boot camp this year. I trained very hard for it, but things happened in the event which meant that we didn't actually get to boot camp. Initially we were going, then we weren't, and yeah, all sorts happened. But even so, this video, 5th highest viewed video on the channel, the guide being the 4th highest video viewed on the channel. Very significant GT Academy. As we didn't make the boot camp, I created this series. It's essentially like the driving school and our first tutorial series we ever made on the channel. The Road to GT Academy 2013. Now, looking at episode 2 here, cornering, but we did 20 episodes. We focused on many different aspects of driving, braking, accelerating, cornering, as you see here. And it helped you guys potentially build to GT Academy 2013. I didn't know it was even going to happen. I just developed the series in the hope that it would. But it also helped myself build on my driver skill to make sure that I did qualify for the boot camp in 2013. And we sure did. But we'll get onto that a little bit later. So this was my first huge series of guides. Finally, in 2012, we actually uploaded some real racing to the channel. This was the British GT, which we got invited to via GT Academy. And it was a good watch. It was a good day. And since then, we have been back to the British GT. We've been to other racing events. And they have featured on the channel as well. So more channel first in this year of 2012. But let's now leave 2012 and head towards 2013. And we're here, all out on track. So this is where real racing actually comes to us. And we actually do some on-circuit action. As you can see here, we're at Silverstone. We're in a GTR. Now, we won this at the British GT, which is from the previous clip that you saw. And this is the first time I had proper experience of racing on a track. Now, you're not allowed to go all out in these track experiences. But the instructor did see that I could drive a car and he was pushing me on. And as you see here, we're just going to fly past an Aston Martin. And I'm going to bring more and more of these real life experiences to the channel. So let's jump back to Gran Turismo 5 and actual track guides. This is the first ever track guide I did. And I decided that I was going to do track guides here on out. And in GT Sport, we've gone off a little bit, but even so, the same principle I applied in this video is what I've applied in every single track guide since. And this was the very first Autumn Ring, a classic circuit in Gran Turismo, one that I wish would return as well. And we did the exact same thing at this track guide. We looked for specific braking points, acceleration points on the circuit, so you can use it in any car. We go back to GT Academy now, and this is 2013, and this is the first room tour. You thought the World Tours had the first room tours in. No, you're wrong. It was this video, and I burst out laughing when I saw this with a wave to the camera right there. So I'm taking you around on a tour of a Premier Inn. This is the hotel I bought, not like the 5-star hotels like PD books. Books. And yeah, just wandering around the room. Now, 2013 at GT Academy was obviously the year I made it to boot camp, along with Adam Siswillo, who you know as Williams Adam. Now, we both raced hard there. Adam actually came the closest and getting second overall at that boot camp. And I'm actually going to upload the GT Academy program and I'm going to unlist it. So do keep an eye out for that, guys. I will let you know when it's done. And then you'll be able to watch it as well, because I do have them now. So we're just going through some of the GT Academy gear, which I do have in a bag. So there is a surprise coming when I get the new house with this GT Academy gear. So do keep an eye out for that. But yeah, more GT Academy goodies. And a shout out to anybody's name who is on that board. I now take you to one of the first championships I commentated on. This was by Pure Racing. It was the JGTS and it involved Super GT cars and a lot of competitive drivers as well. I'm just going to mute myself a little bit and I'm going to let you enjoy this trailer before we move on to what else was in 2013. what a series that was that Pure Racing put on, the GTS. But you may have noticed in the top right side it said Tidgney TV, and now you can see it right in front of you. But essentially, this was the year where we decided to try and grow a little bit. So we went from Tidgney to Tidgney TV, and the whole point of this was we're going to do a lot more commentaries, a lot more guides, and develop some form of brand, which is why we went to Tidgney TV. But that very much changed in a later year. So let's jump out of here now and head towards 2014, where we experienced some new games. So first on the list is Richard Burns Rally, one of the best rally simulators that has ever existed. Not so much for its graphics, but in terms of simulation of rallying, as we get very close to that marshal there, you can't compete with this. There's been no real rally simulator that's competed with this. Dirt's got much closer, but before that, nothing. This is a game from the early 2000s, and I enjoyed this. I love rallying, and it was brilliant that I could actually bring it to the channel. Now, this isn't a new game. This is reality. So we started a video series called Let's Get Real, and this was the second episode. And essentially, this series was all about going from virtual to reality. We tried it with GT Academy, and unfortunately, once you've got to boot camp once with GT Academy, that's it. You can't race again. So I started investigating, can I get into real racing? So we went to a few events. I went to the MG Trophy, I went to a few other events, and in particular, I marshalled this rally. This is Northwest Stages. I haven't marshalled it for a couple of years. However, I filmed this footage, and rallying is a potential area that I could go and try because it's one-off events, it's fairly local, and I can enjoy it. Whereas most race circuits are down south, so it's a lot of travelling. Just a shout out to the Armed Forces, by the way, behind in the Land Rovers. They are blimmin' epic at these events. They give those Land Rovers full-on abuse. They absolutely go for it. It's fantastic. But going back to this series, it was all about trying to get into real racing. Unfortunately, I figured I didn't have the money at the time, so that series did die a death. But an important aspect of the channel, of course, because eventually we do want to at least race a little bit for real. We jump to Assetto Corsa now, which was another new game to appear on the channel. Now, Assetto Corsa, to me, was one of the most realistic racing simulators out there, and especially on PC. The PS4 one, not so much. PC one, absolutely. And it also brought huge grids. If you look down at that TV camera right now, how many cars are you seeing on screen? It's ridiculous. Now, I want that experience in any racing game. 30, 40, 50 cars. Let me experience the full Blancpain series at Monza, 50 cars going around circuit. It's unbelievable. Now, let's go back to Assetto Corsa a little bit. After my experience at GT Academy, actually drove the national circuit of Silverstone on this game, and I felt that this game represented the most realistic feeling and simulation of driving it in real life compared to any other game. And that brought a bit of enjoyment to me. So there was quite a few videos with Assetto Corsa, not a huge amount, but there was quite a few, well into double figures with Assetto Corsa videos, and they were really, really enjoyable to do, and it's also really enjoyable to actually play. We finally finish this year with the transition to Tidgney Racing. Now, you will have seen this in all the other clips of 2014. However, we did change the channel to Tidgney Racing from Tidgney TV, and it's been known that ever since. And again, this was a push to try and build the racing channel a little bit. Obviously, we're in 2019. We're still Tidgney Racing. However, that's about to change. But a significant part of its life, it has been Tidgney Racing. We leave 2014 now, and we're about to head to 2015, and shock horror, iRacing's been on the channel before. I know a lot of you people want me to go back to iRacing, and I may venture there in the future. However, it has been on the channel before, and we were experiencing the MX-5 in iRacing at the time. So this is quite a while ago, obviously 2015. iRacing has substantially changed since, and one of the reasons I left was because there was no day-night transition, and I wanted to just do the endurance races. Well, now it has it, so maybe we do go back there, but it has been on the channel. It was another new game, of course, but this in a different year, and yeah, we had our first look at iRacing, and it is a good racer, don't get me wrong, it is a good racer. I just have that thing with the financial aspect. I don't like paying for a subscription and paying for content at the same time. I either want to do one, which is pay for a subscription, or I'll pay for content. Doing both, I find it a little bit greedy, but that's a whole different story. We venture now to the Le Mans 24-hour in 2015. This is the official race, and oh my word, if you have never been to this event, you need to go. In fact, I need to go again. Hell, maybe we just start a community event and we all end up going. How good would that be? Leave that with me because that's quite a lot of planning and such. But I definitely want to go again. And if you haven't been, I highly recommend it. Now, our weekend was actually ruined because somebody thought they were an absolute drift god and decided they could drift a Q3, I think it was. Completely failed, drove into our campsite, ruined it. Fortunately, we did get compensated by the people who did it. There was a little bit of a scuffle between a bunch of Londoners behind us. But anyway, back to the cars, because this event was unbelievable and probably the biggest event to hit the channel that year because it is fantastic. And this was the year Nissan tried their front-wheel drive machine. So you can see the LMP1 cars coming through here. And this was actually the first year I didn't get top 10 in a GT Academy event because I was top 10, but then I came to this event. Which one would you rather do? Time trial that has no impact, or actually experience Le Mans? And this was with a GT Planet members, GT Planet community, an unbelievable community. GT Planet's been involved in this channel forever in terms of I'm competing in their events. You know, I talk to the members, I'm contributing on their forum. An unbelievable website, unbelievable community, and one I would highly recommend you go and check out. But in 2015, we weren't really doing that much in terms of sim racing. We were on that sort of boundary of there's not much going on in terms of Gran Turismo because Gran Turismo was, you know, fairly delayed in the big aspect, and there wasn't that much competition going on, and I wasn't really playing that much in other simulators. So we experienced Le Mans. We had a little, peak at iRacing, but we move out to 2015 now and head towards 2016. Which is labelled The Return. Now, it's labelled The Return because GT6 and sim racing started to come back. Now, this championship in particular, the GT300 Triple Mix Championship, one of the best championships I've ever been a part of. Now, as the commentator for this, I wasn't racing, and it had some amazing, amazing racing. Now, these are the highlights of a particular race, but you can see some of their names on the right-hand side. Pasm, Sig, Bambi, JF Rod, Roma, Mr. Racing Lion, Patrick, Dutchy. You've seen these on the channel plenty of times. And this championship was unbelievable. We had lots of fantastic racing. The setup was perfect, so you could only use certain cars at certain times. You had to pick when you use certain cars. There's only 3 cars available, which is why it was called the Triple Mix Championship. And this is a championship. It's well worth watching again if you do get the chance. As I say, everything's in the description. And I loved this. I enjoyed watching this and commentating on it. It was fantastic. We ventured out to Project Cars, which again is another new game that appeared on the channel. Now, this was my first real racing esports event. This was a Ginetta challenge. Now, this was for £1,500. It was £1,500 per console or per platform, so PC, PS4 and Xbox. Now, I jumped onto Project Cars. I managed to compete in the time trial. I managed to do well enough to actually get myself into this race. And you may have just seen, actually, Key's name was in this race. So Key was in here as well. But I was one of the newbies. Nobody had really seen me in Project Cars at all. And there was one other newbie in here, and that was Michael. So you may know Magic Michael, because that's what he's referred to now. Team Red Line driver. I was just on my own in this race. I wasn't even in GTA at this point. Now, I did this race, and for some reason, I qualified at the back, which I know the reason why now. But I had no pace, and I was like, well, why do I not have any pace? And I managed to get through the field in this race and finish P6 or 5 or something like that. Turned out that auto clutch existed. As I say, knew nothing about this game, so I had auto clutch on this entire time, and I did not know that it slowed you down as much as it did. So I turned that off. And after the race, I spent a good hour to 2 hours figuring it out, found auto clutch, turned it off, instantly got the pole lap. Instantly. So, a bit frustrating, but at least I knew then that what my problem was, and I had the speed to race in this event. So I had to defend hard from VP Okaroka and anybody else behind me every single time. Although I did make positions in the race, it's because the people made mistakes, capitalizing on mistakes. But it's really good to finally get my first experience of esports in 2016. We head now to 2017, where the eSports takeover begins. And once again, we start off with Project Cars. So this is the ESL. Now, this particular event was to try and qualify for the multi-class championship that the ESL were hosting, with prize money involved. And now, we did actually get some prize money in the end. But this was my first experience of it, and you'll see some big names in there. Isaac21 behind me, for example. I've had some fantastic races with Isaac. Now, again, we were learning, and this was our first race as GTA as well. Racing for GTA with GTA in Project Cars. It was good to compete with GTA. Matty was in this race. Matty actually qualified for the multi-class championship as well. I qualified in the next round, which was Road America round number 70. And it's all a learning curve still. I was trying to learn what's fast, what's not fast. For example, you'll see in the bottom bit, stability controls on. That's the way to race in project cars. Let's step away from esports for a moment and let's talk about the biggest video on this channel. It is the G29 versus T300. Now, I'm surprised it took off so much. I only made this video because a lot of people were asking me which one should I get. So as I bought both, I just made this video to explain the strengths and weaknesses of both. And it took off, and then a lot of people were commenting, Tid, you've no idea what you're on about with the brake pedal, because obviously it's got that small little black plastic thing, which I think is completely useless. My own opinion, I pay for the products, I'll just explain them as they are. They're not review items like are sent by the companies. I do know what it does, but people didn't seem to get that. And the only reason I say it doesn't do what it's meant to do, because it doesn't. And it nerfs the pedals. And, you know, trying to explain that to people over the internet can be difficult. Maybe I didn't explain it the best way, but 132,000 views as of this point is quite insane. So, from the virtual esports to the real thing at this moment. Well, Overclockers UK hosted a championship on Project Cars 2, so you can call it virtual, but it got us into real race cars as we're in an F3000 at the moment. And you're going to look at my front right wheel, just lock up there. Oh, absolutely nuts. But essentially, they hosted this championship, and if you were one of the fastest on Project Cars 2 in VR, you got invited to Palmer Sport. So we went to Palmer Sport. It was in the dry at the time. We had instructions from the instructors, you know, in each of the cars. We raced several cars. M4, Clio Cup car, Ariel Atom, Jaguar prototype, like Le Mans prototype kind of car. It's F3000. It was great. There's loads of different cars there. And then I was one of the fastest again, so I came here to the final, and I had a couple of my teammates with me. We were basically in the top 4 drivers at this final, with another external person who was in the mix as well. Now, it's on the channel because this has been one of my, one of the best experiences of my life in terms of real racing. I got to experience fully fledged race cars on a circuit, and in the final we got told no instructions. So in all the cars we had to go out there and drive, and one of the instructors said it was one of the best drives they had ever had, you know, from a person who's just come into this event. So the fact that he said that, I was honoured, because it means that I do have pace, I do have car control. They've been there for over 20 years and they're saying that. It's amazing. I say good car control, I spin the car there. We'd only just got out and I was pushing the limits, as you're meant to do. But I do want to experience this again at Palmer Sport, because this is one of the best events I have ever been a part of. Whether I have to pay for it or not, I don't care. But I'd love to bring footage of the other cars, because they only film this car. So if I can take my own GoPro, attach it, they don't normally allow it, but if I can do that, I would love it. But Matty actually won the event overall. We came P4, but we were actually P2 in this particular event in the F3000. So I was happy with that. Let's jump back to the virtual world now, and we're actually on a Bathurst lap. So this is one of the first community events I did, and this, if you don't know, has a funny reaction at the end of it, which is why I'm featuring it in this video reel, because a lot of people laugh at the reaction at the end. So just to explain the scenario here in this Project Cars 2 community event, because obviously we're not talking about Project Cars 2, but it did come to the channel. So the community events have a time limit. It's about 57 minutes past midnight. It closes at 1 AM. So this was my last go, and you can see the world record is a 202 dead. My personal best is a 202 dead, but I'm 6 thousandths off. This was my last go. So we come into the chase and we exit there, and yeah, it gets a bit nuts. So obviously it's late at night. I can't really shout because it's late at night. I'll wake everybody up. But coming around this last corner, I know I'm on a good lap here, and I absolutely sprint out. You can see me start nudging my head in a second. Look at that. There we go. Look at this reaction. It looks so just random as hell. But we did do it indeed. And finally, GT Sports made an appearance in 2017 on the channel. It's when it got released, and my word, what a game GT Sports is. Of course, Gran Turismo was featured throughout my life, but GT Sport, I think, is one of the pinnacles of the series. It really has brought competitive racing to a new level. Now, in 2017, we weren't doing esports per se. The official championship started in 2018, which we'll get to shortly. But, oh my word, this game. I had to show this video just to show you when it was first introduced and how much the channel has progressed since this first video of GT Sport. So let's now look at that. We're going to come out of 2017 and head towards 2018, where the dream begins. Now, first of all, the dream isn't the ESL ending, which is what this is. So ESL was coming to an end. You may recognize some of the names in here. Jardier's in here. James is just overtaking me there. We had some good races with James, Jardier, Iceman, Popsu. You've seen some of these names in GT Sport. But ESL was actually coming to an end. So we'd been doing it for a year. It felt like longer than a year, to be honest with you, with Project Cars 1 and with Project Cars 2. But the ESL was basically, it was losing its attraction. There was no longer any funding for it, so they were going to stop doing it. And at that point, I could then focus on GT Sport. And we started doing the car profiles first of all. This was a big project that I started, and a lot of people said it was a huge project, which it was. But I managed to improve the efficiency as I went, and now if I did it, I could improve it a little bit more. So we went through the entire Group 3 field. We did it on 5 tracks initially, then we went down to 4 tracks, and we basically tested the balance of performance, which cars were good, which cars were bad. And this actually brought out some secret, like, gems, essentially. I remember the biggest one was the Volkswagen Visual Gran Turismo car. When I posted that that was one of the fastest cars in the game, a lot of people did start using that car. It's not that fast anymore, but again, some interesting gems were found in there. The standard things were found as well. MR cars being pretty dreadful, etc, etc. And as you can see, Brands Hatch was one of those circuits. And we're looking at the Peugeot RCZ Group 3 car, which is one of my favourite cars. But GT Sport car profiles, a big series on this channel. And here we go with some more Project Cars 2. And you're going to say, Tid, you said you gave Project Cars 2. Well, I did sort of. We had the AOR League to finish. Now, this race is one of the best wins I had ever had in sim racing, period. So let me explain the scenario. The AOR GT3 League has around 30 competitors racing in the Pro League. So there's several leagues. We're in the top league. And this race at Zolder, we were racing round, and there was set to be rain, but we had no idea when this was going to come in. It came in, everybody pitted apart from myself. And you can see at the moment on the top left hand side, we're 23 seconds ahead of Jardier. But this was coming down quick, and I decided not to pit and stay out and go for it. Now, the commentators were absolutely screaming at this, because it's the finale of all finales here. One driver stays out on slick tyres and is trying to survive here. Yeah, as you can see, I'm drifting everywhere. And the other driver is on the wets, trying to catch up as fast as possible. So we come towards this chicane. This is a very deadly chicane. As we come into here, you can see the car sliding all over the place. We can see we nearly missed the apex. You can see the puddles. We're just trying to get round. Look at the understeer. It's crazy. Now, a lot of the cars behind us that you're going to see on circuit are going to be unlapping themselves at this point, and we're just trying to survive. So one thing is trying to survive on your own, but then you've got cars around you as well. So we're coming towards the end of this lap now, and I'm showing you just this lap because it's unbelievable. And I say, go check out the full race. It's insane, and the highlights of it. But you can see there, understeered off. We've got no brakes, we've got no turning, we've got no grip. So you can see one car goes by there. We're then going to have all the other cars fly by us as well, who are all on wet tyres. You can see the amount of spray coming off. I love Project Cars 2 for this live track. It's absolutely brilliant. Coming to the braking, so look at the car. It just wants to snap. So we're coming into here. We've got no pace at all. Low on fuel. Everything is just bad. But we leave here. I wasn't even sure whether this is going to be the final lap. My teammate, Nostalrich, right behind me. We head towards the line. He starts flashing. I'm going to look towards the final. There we go. I get it done. You can see the cheer. I am so happy. It's finally confirmed. We actually get one of the best wins of my life, and we win by 11 seconds. Watch this, though. I try and drift and absolutely fail. There we go. Way! Unbelievable stuff. Speaking of unbelievable stuff, the World Tours. Now, I've shared these with vlogs going to every event that I've been able to get to. I've only missed one World Tour event out of all of them, which is kind of an amazing achievement in itself, because I'm not the quickest GT Sport driver out there. I'm just trying to stay competitive and do the best that I can at any individual event, putting my time where I can do. But speaking about the vlogs again, you know, I like to share the experience of going to these events. We've been all around Europe. We're about to head to Tokyo, which is the first I've ever flown in my life, and I literally cannot wait. So I really hope you have enjoyed these vlogs, and I will continue to try and make them better each and every single time. Now, this is the Monaco vlog, where we actually did something amazing. We actually went on a helicopter, which is like mind-blowing to me. A helicopter. But yes, these vlogs will continue, and they've been a big part of the channel and the story, and allowed you guys to come along with me on the journey of the GT Sport FIA Championships. Now, one of the biggest things to impact the channel was when live streaming started happening. Now, I've been wanting to live stream for years, and we eventually got the technology in the village I live in to live stream. And so I started with this one. This was the Best of British race. This was my first attempt before we started streaming the FIA events. And while this race in particular didn't go very well, the live stream did, and most of you who have joined this channel will have joined via the live streams, because we started live streaming, people then started following the progress of the FIA Championship, especially in 2018 with the Peugeot story, trying to get Peugeot to the World Finals, Mission Impossible 1, Mission Impossible 2. We tried everything in that season, and live streams have been a huge contributor, and I actually thoroughly enjoy live streams, and I want to make them as good and just the best thing that I can possibly do, because it allows me to communicate with you guys directly, and we can have a bit of fun. You also get to see my live reaction. It's all very well good me making a video, but if you can get my live reaction at the time, like when that happened, I think it gives you a much better feeling about my emotion at the time. The driving school, the final big thing that started in 2018, and it's still going now, and we do need to finish it before the new year. What a series this has been. A lot of people have said how much it has helped them improve in the game. And you can see here in front of you now, we've got standard braking, trail braking. We talk about absolutely everything in this series, and we go into it in the most intricate detail as I possibly can. So in this example, standard braking, what you would do on a normal side, and how trail braking actually helps you improve speed. And I try and do this on all aspects of driving in GT Sport, so that you guys can look at it and go, okay, this is how I can improve. And as you can see there, the ghost flying ahead straight away. So the driving school, one of the biggest things on the channel, and I will be finishing that series off this year, which will hopefully help you guys be racing at your peak throughout 2020 and beyond. Let's leave 2018 now, and let's head towards 2019, where you, the community, have been the biggest part of the channel. Now, we actually start with one of the races from this year's FIA, one that you have supported me through, and you guys have helped get me to these World Tour events, and the FIA Championship finals that are going to happen in Monaco this year, as well as Tokyo as well. And we've been there for each other, we've gone through it, you know, in each and every race. It's just been amazing. I can't really explain it, and I can't really show it on video other than showing a race where we are doing awesome, and I know you guys were there for me. Now in the background we have Discord now, where we can chat and talk, and I'm much more responsive in Discord than I am on PSN, and it's just been brilliant, and I can only thank you for that support, and just the fact that we've been having some absolute cracking racing, which we'll get onto in a little bit. The channel was then shook up a little bit because Project Cars 2 reappeared out of nowhere. So this was because the SMSR Championship, whoa, that was close. The SMSR Championship came back in Project Cars 2, and GTA was invited as a team. So me and Matty were doing these races. Now, we didn't do that well in them, to be fair, for a number of reasons, mainly wheel-related issues, where turning the TGT 10 degrees turned the car in Project Cars 2 over 90 degrees. It was very bizarre. But even so, we had some fantastic racing, and it was nice to get involved in grids of over 30 cars again, because I do enjoy absolute massive grids. And it was a good championship to be a part of. We experienced wet weather, and we experienced... wet weather was actually at this Monza circuit. We experienced night racing again. It was good. It's good to enjoy, but unfortunately, this would be the last Project Cars 2 event to appear on the channel. A good one all the same, and a good way to finish it off. Shame we couldn't do much better in the championship, but we did go to the live event, and I say we had a fun few weeks racing in this championship. A nice little cut back there. So from Project Cars 2 to a GT Sport video, which just involved me talking to the camera. Now this is the 6th highest viewed video on the channel. It's a Super GT video, essentially. It's 6th. But what this video was Dear Gran Turismo. This video was not a complaint video, but a feedback video that enabled us as a community, and this is what this year is all about, to really push our voice forward. I was a bit unsure whether to release this video, and then I released it, and then the likes started flowing in, everybody started commenting on it, it got shared really fast, and I mean ridiculously fast, so much so that I heard that senior people at GT in Gran Turismo have watched the video, and then they approached me at a World Tour event and said they've watched it and they've got some changes coming to the championships, and we're seeing some of those changes now. So this video had a direct impact, which I'm so thankful for, because as I said, I was nervous. I was risking potential invitations to World Tours and everything for this video, but this was done for the community, and the fact that you guys backed it and actually agreed with it as well, that meant that we all shared the same view and opinion, and it has been actioned. And that shows the strength we have as a community as well. We can go forward and we can help Gran Turismo, if they do listen to us, to improve their game. And they did listen. And that's amazing, because a lot of game developers don't, and they lose out. Gran Turismo at the moment, in its current race formats, is doing fantastic. So a big shout out to Polyphony Digital for actually listening to this video. And a big thank you to anyone who liked that video or commented on that video and really shared their opinions about where the game is at the moment, the current state of affairs, and how they could improve it. Now we continue with the community with Mini Madness. This was the community championship I always wanted to host. Some form of championship which allows anybody to drive versus everybody else. Whether you're a super alien or you're a fairly new driver, you could compete in this championship. And this has been one of the biggest successful championships that I've ever experienced or seen really in GT Sports. We had over 100 entrants. We're down to around 80 left down the championship. We've had 4 rounds and we have seen some fantastic racing. We race throughout the day. It's a monthly championship. It's in Mini Coopers and it's just a good laugh. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes we have crashes, sometimes we have, rage basically, but it's racing. And it's blimmin' good racing, and it's something I have thoroughly enjoyed setting up and learning about. And the community championships are going to continue into the future, and we'll get to the future shortly, because they are good fun and it allows people to come together and race and make friends and do whatever. And I've enjoyed it. I've spoken to some of you guys who I would never have spoken to before now, and I've seen you race. You get to be in the limelight. It's brilliant. GT Sport is not just about the Super Aliens and the FIA events. GT Sports allowed us to do this community event, and we can do more and really have some good fun. So Mini Madness is really, really far up there, and I'm going to let this whole intro play out and you enjoy it before we look at the final thing that appeared on the channel. One of the final things that has happened on this channel, it's happened very recently, which is why it's the last clip in this 40 video collection that I've put together to celebrate the 10k subscriber videos, are the podcasts. Now, the podcasts have been so enjoyable to do because we get a lot of different people into the podcast. Live chat allows you to get involved as well. People can ask questions and we talk about lots of different topics, and it has been absolutely brilliant and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And the plan is to keep doing these podcasts because, as I say, I love the communication between myself and you guys when something is live. I think it's brilliant. It's nice to have everybody else's opinion as well. You know, GT Alex, John S. Kenny, everybody gets their opinion in on these podcasts, and we can just have a good talk about whatever it might be, whether it's patches, the FIA Championship, or like we did the mental health special. It's always good to talk and just discuss things and really get an idea of where people's opinions are. Similar to like the Dear Gran Turismo video, but live, and we can just have a little chat. And as I say, live chats there, you can get involved, and it has been really good. So as I say, these are going to happen as we go into the future. But what is in the future? What is going to happen in the future of this channel, the future of the community? Well, let's find out now. I hope you enjoyed the past. We're here in the present, and we are actually going to talk about the future. But let's just talk about the present just for a little bit, first of all. And just an apologies, first of all, because there's been a bit of a content break. So that's due to a number of reasons. We went to Salzburg for the World Tour, and the videos for that will be coming soon. We had the FIA break, of course. I got ill, which I'm now feeling better. Obviously, when you're ill, you don't want to do anything anyway, but you sound really weird, and the videos you just don't want to put effort into anything, so that's another reason. And this video actually took a hell of a long time to make, even though I invested in parts of it. It still took a hell of a long time to make, so yes, I do hope you enjoyed it. This is obviously talking about the future now, though, so we had the 10K special. We're now talking about the channel itself. Now, I'm going to start with YouTube because you will have noticed that the branding has all changed. It's been all updated and stuff. So, what is happening with the YouTube channel? Well, the first thing I can say is the streams or live streams are not going to happen on the YouTube channel anymore. So, please don't panic. They are still happening. I will explain everything shortly with the stream. So, just to let you know, the live streams are not happening anymore on the YouTube channel. Now, one of the things I want to do is go back to what the channel was originally for, which was to help you know, become better at racing. If you're stuck on something, to help you out, anything like that. So guides, you know, and helping you develop as a driver, or potentially, you know, learn something. So I am actually going to try and focus a bit more on the guides again, because I think I've drifted away a little bit from that, especially track guides. I really want to go back to the track guides because I really enjoyed making those. So do keep an eye out for them. Obviously, the driving school will still be appearing, and so will good races as well. You know, if I have a really good race, I'll get that on the channel because we love a good bit of entertainment, a good bit of fighting. But I'm not just going to upload any old race. So, you know, if you're expecting FIA highlights round 15 of X season, and it's me just leading the race for 20 laps and that's it, I would never upload that because that's a pretty boring race. In terms of the stream video on demands, they all won't get uploaded to YouTube. Now, Mini Madness, I still got to upload those to the channel, of course. We did have our Mini Madness round number 4 recently, which is very good as well. And, you know, some other video on demands that will make it, but not all of them on the YouTube channel. Obviously, we'll just put the key ones, the fun ones, the ones that I actually think you want to watch. I don't want to just spam the channel to, you know, win the YouTube algorithm. That's not what I'm about. And a few people said, why don't you just upload them all? I don't want to do that. I'm not about growing as a channel. I'm just here. If you want to watch a video, you can watch it. So there's not going to be any clickbait. It would be like saying, Monza track guide. Here it is. You can watch it or you don't have to watch it. You might learn something. Or personally, I want to make it so that you will learn something from every track guide. And every track guide I've done in the past, even the aliens say, I've learned something from this. So that's my goal. I want everybody to be able to learn something from it, because then we can all have better races, we can have better action, and then the very good races, which I want to appear on the channel, we can have more of them. But yeah, that is what's going to happen there. And other games may appear on the channel as well, actually. So you will have seen it's gone from Tidgney Racing back to Tidgney. Now, the channel originally started as Tidgney, then we went to Tidgney TV, and then we went to Tidgney Racing. We've had a load of intros throughout the years, which I'm going to put at the end, actually, just for a bit of fun. And then you get to see the new intro, which now exists for the channel. So that's what's going to happen with the YouTube channel. Now, in terms of schedule, I want to hope I get a video out a week. There's not going to be any guarantee of that. I want to go back to just enjoying making videos again. One thing I've realised is that video editing is taking up too much of my time. I work. I do want to socialise as well. I do want to play games. And that's also why I want to play other games. I've realised quite quickly video editing is taking up a lot of my time. So I'm just obviously going to make sure I try and get a video out a week, something like that. And then you've got it there to be able to use in the future. And it's sort of videos which you can use whenever you want. It's not for a specific, you know, round or whatever. It's just there. You can use it and go, like the driving school braking. Well, you can watch that braking again now. You can watch it in a year's time. it will still be relevant. So that sort of thing. So let's talk about the streams now, of course, because I did say the streams are disappearing from the YouTube channel, which is true. As Ninja left Twitch, I thought, okay, well, I can take Ninja's place. Happy days. Let's walk in. Hello, everybody. No, I didn't say that. No, don't worry. I've not got a press conference to explain it all. So Twitch, I am going to be live streaming on Twitch. The link is in the description below. I can't, by the way, guys, just so you know this, I can't just make a video saying, oh yeah, come over to my Twitch channel. I'm live right now. Can't do that. It's against terms of service for YouTube. So if you do want to watch the live streams, and I did speak to Super GT and a few other guys, my live streams are probably the best pieces of content out there, which is why I'm investing a little bit more into the live streams now as well. Because they get, not the fact that they get more views, but it seems like a lot of you want to watch that sort of stuff. And I feel my live streams are quite good, to be fair. I try and, I have a good intro. I'm trying to add more stuff to them. And I can do that on Twitch. And that's one of the first reasons why I'm going to Twitch. I can add more and do more with live streams than I can on YouTube. By a mile. And in terms of quality as well, if you've never watched a Twitch live stream before, because they don't compress the upload that I do, they are much better quality picture. So, for example, I can upload 3,000 KB up to Twitch, and it will be better quality than the 5,500 I upload to YouTube, which is significant. I mean, that's a 2.5 meg difference. So the fact that I'm uploading less but getting more is kind of cool, really. So if you didn't know that, if you've got a slow internet, by the way, Twitch is probably better for your live streaming, if I'm honest. You get better quality out there. So that's the first reason, is quality, and I can make the streams better. Now, as you may or may not know, it might be news to you, I am a part of Lazarus now. A big eSports team, one of the biggest in the world. For those interested, I approached them. I've had a lot of offers over my time while I've been in GTA, including F4H, which Lazarus took over F4H, and it's become Lazarus, and it's grown and it's been developed into this awesome team. So Lazarus are a partner with Twitch. Now, they haven't forced me to go to Twitch, guys, before anyone wonders, because I know Super GT mentioned this in his video. He felt like there was some control over there. I spoke to them and they said I can stream on YouTube if I want to stream on YouTube. But the reason I'm streaming on, because that's where obviously you guys are, the reason I'm streaming on Twitch with Lazarus, or where Lazarus is concerned, is because Lazarus are investing in me as a driver. Now, if somebody invests in me, I want to invest in them. Now, Twitch and Lazarus have this partnership. I should be investing in Lazarus's partners as well. So I decided, and originally I was just going to stay streaming on YouTube. I decided, based on the other reasons as well, that I was going to go to Twitch. So I said to them, do you know what? No, I'm gonna. You're investing in me. I'm gonna invest in you as well. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Twitch, and that's the second reason. Now the third reason, some of you will be like, well, it doesn't affect me, and it may seem like, because I always say I'm not out to grow, and I'll get onto that in a little bit, but I'm not out to grow. But the YouTube algorithm, it sucks. It does my head in. So, well, there's a number of things on YouTube. So the YouTube algorithm and YouTube in general, the YouTube studio for live streaming sucks, and they're trying to force everybody onto it. So, if I want to do a live stream on Twitch, I change the title, select the game, and hit live. Takes 5 seconds. If I want to do it in YouTube, I've got to make a thumbnail, make a good thumbnail, name the stream in a way that people might want to watch it. I've then got to upload that, set a schedule, set a time, do this, that, and the other, set some tags, and do whatever else, and it's suddenly like 15 minutes, and I'm like, well, all I wanted to do was live stream. I really don't care about thumbnail for a live stream, because it's a live stream. I don't know what is going to be encountering in this live stream until I've done the race. It could be the biggest drama in history, or it could be the Boar Fest of the century. I don't actually know. So I hate that part of it, but I also hate the YouTube algorithm because I feel like I do good live streams. I've said that earlier on in this little bit of a clip. Well, some people will never see them because the YouTube algorithm goes, ha ha ha, you down there, you can't have viewers. Are you having a laugh? No, you can stay down there in the search. We'll let everybody else view this stream and that stream and whatever stream. So then I'm just like, well, I just want somebody to be able to go, yeah, I want to have a look at GT Sport live streams, and then they go down the list and they go, yeah, sounds alright, I'll just have a look what this guy's doing. And then you can do that on Twitch. You just look at the game and find which game you want to watch, and there's a list of streams, and you click on them. Seems fairly simple to me. So that is another reason why I'm going to Twitch, because if you want to watch, and I've always said this, my content's there. If you want to watch it, you can watch it. I just don't want people missing out on it, which is the big thing. And then the third reason is linked to YouTube again, is copyright. So for those that don't know, my channel has been copyrighted in the past. Not so much in the fact that of videos. The video thing's a completely different story, and I'm still doing videos. But sometimes my stream struggles. It stops-starts occasionally, and that is a YouTube problem as well. I've found out it's not a Twitch thing. It doesn't happen on Twitch. So it'll stop-start, and then occasionally I get a copyright strike for that because they say, "Oh, I'm duplicating content. I'm trying to gain viewers." Like in a weird way that YouTube think it's weird. So they put a strike on it. That means you can never live stream on YouTube again. It means your channel's demonetized. I got some money in a little bit, by the way, guys. And then suddenly, if you get 3 of those, your channel can get deleted. Well, I don't want the 1,000 videos on the channel being deleted. So yeah, I don't want to even take that risk. Now, Twitch, there are some copyright limitations in there, but they're a little bit more easy on it. So they'll just take the sound out if you do it, if it stores on video on demand. But obviously, if you abuse that, they'll hit you hard. But generally, I'm much at ease streaming on Twitch that way, because then if something happens, I'm playing a game and suddenly a piece of copyright music comes on, they're just going to take the audio out and that's it. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I can take that. That's fair enough. I'm just streaming at the time. So, that's another reason, the copyright. Now, I've already talked about this a little bit, but the content on stream that I want to do. So, obviously, I said there's a lot more I can do on Twitch. You may have seen Lewis, actually, LGR Lewis. He does marbles, for example. So you get to play games with me on stream, in the stream. If I want to do marbles, of course. I don't know what other games there are, but I want to investigate that. But I also want to stream other games. Now, I didn't think streaming other games on the YouTube channel was relevant, and I didn't want to have to spend 15 minutes each time coming up with a thumbnail, title, tags. I just want to go, yeah, I'm racing on whatever today. Come join if you want to have fun, or whatever it might be. So, the fact that I can stream different content much easier is another reason why I'm going to Twitch. And I am going to be streaming different games, and I'm going to be streaming some really nice games that you will be interested in. I'm sure, I'll be doing different racing games, and I'll also be doing different games as well. So I know some of you will have seen the WoW that was in the film reel, World of Warcraft. WoW is being streamed. Other games will be streamed. I don't know, Sins of a Solar Empire, Stellaris. I want to play some of these other games, especially in the off-season. It's a time where I can just enjoy gaming, because I do enjoy gaming. That's it. I do enjoy gaming. That's as it is, and I've only played GT Sport for the past 2 years, so I want to enjoy a few of the other games, and I can do that on Twitch, and I can share with you. So if I'm playing in an afternoon, I'll just go, there you go. Now, there will be a set Twitch stream schedule that I can upload at the start of the week, where this is the official times I'll be streaming, or hopefully streaming, and then if I stream on other times, as long as you're following, you get an email alert. I follow some streamers on Twitch. It's great. It's far better than YouTube, in my opinion, because YouTube schedules get mixed in with the videos, and then it sort of locks it in on the subscription feed, and it looks all weird and horrible. So yes, that is why I'm going to Twitch. A lot of reasons in there. Quite a long-winded one, actually. In fact, how long was that? My word, that's a good 10 minutes of explaining all of that lot. Now, I know some of you are members, and this is talking to members now, and anyone who's donated to the channel before, or is planning to donate to the channel, or whatever it might be. So, YouTube membership's going to stay open, and you still do get the perks of that. You will appear in reels wherever on the channel. You get the Discord chat area for members. Of course, there you can ask me. You could talk to me a lot easier than, say, in other areas of the game, of the community. Sorry. So the membership will still exist. Now, Twitch will eventually have memberships as well. They are more valuable because you get to use emotes on other channels as well as that channel. So that is another reason for Twitch, because then you get more for your money if you ever want to invest in the community. And I've always said I'm not out here to make money. I don't want to be a full-time content creator. And I think this confuses people a lot. I'm not out to be a content creator. So let me just explain this a little bit. So I've always had people in the past, and this started from my very first GT Academy video, say, how can I donate to your channel? I want to donate, here's some money. How do I give you this money? And I've always been like, I don't do it for, it's just here to help. Now, I have had the opportunity to work with GT Amiga Racing before, and a few other brands, of course, and it's all very nice. But as I said, I don't do it for money. If I get big donations, we've had some very big donators in the past. Anyone who's donated or is a member at the moment, you've helped improve the channel. You know, we've got a license for some of the music now, so we can use that in like the Mini Madness video. We've got new cameras, so that's 4K camera. It allows me to vlog my experiences in Salzburg or Tokyo, which is coming up as well. So, you know, if you do invest, it just goes straight back into the channel. I don't take this as my own money. It just means better content for you guys. So I don't want to be a full-time content creator because it's so stressful and risky. I don't think people realize this. And when people go, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel and become a pro YouTuber or whatever, yeah, good luck with that, because it's hard. It's very hard. I'll give you an idea. I'll give you a quick idea. I wasn't going to talk about this in this one, but this is why I don't want to be. If I look at my job, my employer puts into a pension plan pot, quite a substantial amount. I've got my job, which is technically less stressful than a full-time content creator. I've got holidays for that job. They look after, you know, my pay. My pay just goes into my bank account. I can enjoy the money. Having that salary allows me to buy a house, which obviously I'm still looking for. You guys know this. And I will take you on that journey. It allows me to buy an Audi R8, which obviously you guys know about, and that is coming in the future, of course. It's coming very soon, I hope. So, you know, that's what a full-time job offers me. And you go, whoa, well, you're working 9 to 5 every day, and you're just a slave, basically, blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you, as a full-time content creator, this is what you've got to do. You have to manage a community. And now you go, oh, is that an effort, Tidge? Well, it can be an effort. That's why certain YouTubers and content creators don't have Discords. It's why they do certain things, because it's a management, it's workload. They then have to make sure they upload every single day to, you know, keep the YouTube algorithm happy and make sure they get as many views as possible. They have to clickbait, which is kind of horrible. Nobody likes clickbaiting. They have to do whatever they have to live stream. They have to do this. They have to do so much. They have to have the hard drive full of the content. They have to make sure that's stored separately. They have to, you know, have an accountant who makes sure they do X, Y, and Z specifically. Now I have to make sure my finances are in check. Now, as you grow bigger, obviously the accountant has to come in, stamp. There you go. You've got to send your tax returns off, come back. And this year is going to be the biggest tax return ever, like literally, because obviously the channel grew so much in the past couple of years with the live stream. So, you know, I've got it all logged, and we'll go to an accountant and make sure it's stamped and sealed, and, you know, they're happy with it. But as you grow, you've got to manage that more and more and more. You have to suddenly log, say you have 10 transactions in a month. Say you've got 10 members, you log those transactions. Imagine if you've got 1,000 members. You've got to log 1,000 transactions, and there's going to be a lot more expenses going out. Suddenly there's a load of stuff happening here, there, and everywhere. You've got to keep all the receipts. You've got to keep that for several years as well. It's not just keeping it for 1 year. There's a lot of work, guys. A lot of work. And then you've got to obviously manage the trolling, because some people do troll you. Some people will give you abuse. Some people will do whatever, you know, they can to bring you down. I try and stay positive, you know that, but some people will try that. And it's very hard for a content creator, so that's not why I'm not out there to be that. This is a hobby at the end of the day, and it will always be a hobby. And that's the end of it. So that is the future, guys. Sorry, that's a very long-winded end to the video that I didn't want to go into. But yeah, the future, YouTube channel, stopping streams, going back to guides, educational videos. The good races will still appear, and other games may appear occasionally. Like, I know, once in a year, you might see Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where I built an amazing theme park. But that's just a bit of content that I've put on YouTube because I want people to see this amazing theme park. The YouTube channel is a hobby. Same with the streams, but I like streaming. I love the, you know, We can talk rather than me just talking into a camera at the moment. I can look at the chat and go, hey, look, Calster's on chat. Hey, Calster. Shout out to Calster. So yeah, we're gonna go stream on Twitch now. Obviously I'll be streaming a lot more because I'll have to do all the thumbnails and stuff, so yeah, make sure you follow me on that. Everything is in the description. Make sure you join my Discord. I'm always on my Discord. People message me all the time. I talk to everybody on there, but that is the future of the channel. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We had the 10k special to start with, and we finished off with the future. If you do have any questions, do make sure you get them in. If you feel you have to leave the community because you don't want to follow me to Twitch and you don't want to see any more of the, you specifically follow YouTube live streams, I wish you the best of luck in the future with whoever you follow in the future. There's plenty of content creators out there live streaming GT Sport. You've got Key, you've got Jev, you've got Here He Is, you've got Super GT. How can I forget Super GT? You know, Jimmy. There's loads of YouTube live streamers out there if you want to follow them. I'm going to be on Twitch. If you want to follow me there, as I say, it's in the description. I'll always be around. You guys know that. I'm always here to help if you need it. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. I want you to now enjoy the old intros, followed by the brand new one. Ciao.